The idea of a perfect society has never been fully realized. The concept of a utopia was first discussed back in 1516 in the book called Utopia, from which philosopher Plato described the ideal Greek city-state as requiring communal living among the ruling class. The word utopia itself came from two Greek words that translate to not a place. It creates an illusion of perfection, one where all can live without hardship. But many now say utopian cities exist only in modern fantasy and science fiction. We've also believed that a utopian city cannot exist thanks to climate change. However, a few billionaires like Mark Lowry, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk see a future with self-sustainable cities. Some of their ideas are so well designed that in theory, little can go wrong. Today's video focuses on 3 major eco-friendly cities currently being designed to be unlike any city we've ever seen. Telosa in the American desert, The Line in Saudi Arabia, and a floating city in South Korea. These magnificent structures are the brainchild of thinkers, creatives, and the wealthiest in society. Their plans raise eyebrows in many circles. Will they truly be sustainable and successful to pave the way for a new and improved way of living? Mark Lowry is an ambitious former banker known for selling his e-commerce business Jet.com to Walmart for $3.3 billion. In September 2021, he announced detailed plans to build funding for and invest enough into realizing his utopian dream, a $400 billion idea. He is naming it Telosa, from the ancient Greek word telos, meaning higher purpose. It is slated to be a self-sustainable 150,000-acre metropolis, roughly the size of Chicago. The sustainable city would have 36 mixed-use districts, allowing residents to access any and all destinations within a 15-minute commute. Traditional ICE vehicles will be banned, with residents traveling in self-driving electric cars or on high-speed public transport. Nature will be accessible to all residents thanks to public green space. The plan also includes monorails, community parks, and organic skyscrapers. Telosa is planned to be home to roughly 50,000 residents by 2030 and 5 million by 2070. The land area in Arizona will store clean, reusable water on site, and the city will run on renewable energy. Residents will enjoy higher crop yields with less water thanks to the aeroponic farms. This modern technique allows crops to grow in nutrient-rich water instead of soil, and still uses 90% less water than traditional farming. Roots are spread out and suspended within vertical towers, and irrigated with a nutrient-dense mist. This differs from hydroponics, where plant roots are submerged in a solution of water and nutrients. In aeroponic farming, the roots have greater access to oxygen, which results in healthier plants and significantly faster crop growth rates. What's more interesting about this futuristic city is its new economic model called equitism, which allows residents to own the city's land. As the value increases, land can be sold or leased to fund projects like education and healthcare. This is thought to foster the idea of keeping the city and all residents thriving, reducing the wealth gap that we see in current societies. Despite its many critics, Mark Lowry has already commissioned world-famous Danish architect Bjarke Ingels. He has also hired economists, designers, urban historians, planners, and sustainability experts. On the other hand, he has not yet secured water rights and the land for the project. His economic model is also yet to be tested. Telosa is not quite imminent, but it's still serious business, and many are watching to see if another billionaire can pull off something exquisite that the world has yet to see. Now, let's look at The Line, a Saudi project designed to have no cars, zero carbon emissions, and be exclusively powered by renewable energy. While it is similar to Telosa, there are some mind-blowing, never-thought-of-about features in this city. In 2021, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, announced plans to construct a sci-fi-like city named The Line. It is a $500 billion smart redevelopment of a 170-kilometer stretch of land on the northern tip of the Red Sea. It will be 200 meters wide and located 500 meters above sea level. It is set to be situated in Tabuk, a historic province in the country, and part of a planned smart city complex called Neom. Other plans for the complex include a neon bay, an airport, and a floating industrial complex. The line's unique design features a central outdoor space, bordered by two 500-meter-tall, steel-built mirrored walls, which will serve as home to as many as 9 million residents. One of the most immediate and new conveniences here, apart from traditional cities, is that residents can get to practically all they need within a 5-minute walk. Therefore, there will be no cars here, and instead, a high-speed rail system that moves from end to end in 20 minutes. Environmentalists are more excited about this innovation because the construction lessens the impact on nature. The natural resources in the region will remain intact. Wildlife species like the oryx, a species of antelope, the ibex, a species of wild goat, mountain gazelles, and cheetahs are integrated into the city's plans, such that they do not lose their natural habitat. In a significant time-saving effort, Executive Director Giles Pendleton has invested in artificial intelligence that will accomplish the complex task of pre-engineering the project. This only leaves the construction crew to assemble the modular pieces, for which their functionality will already be predetermined. After the project is completed, prospective investors do not need to visit Saudi Arabia, but can get a high-tech virtual tour of the unique complex, also created by AI. If you think you've seen it all now, don't hold your breath, because you still need to hear about what South Korea is cooking with their floating city. From the name of the project, you already know what to expect. South Korea is working on a small city on the ocean surface along the Busan coast. Upon completion, it will be home to 12,000 people, but will be expanded to 100,000 in the coming years. This city is backed by the United Nations Human Settlements Program and is meant to test a new real estate development model. Oceanics, the design leader, assured that the city could withstand a 100-year storm, level 5 hurricanes, tsunamis, and flooding. The design plan will be divided into 3 platforms, one for housing, another for public spaces, and the last for research and development. Each platform will be connected through bridges and anchored to the ocean with removable power moorings. All 3 platforms will be coated in a buoyant limestone material called biorock, which is harder than concrete and will encourage the growth of coral reefs on the bottom of the platform. Like Telosa and the line, the floating city will be self-sufficient and will also run a communal system where people can grow their own produce. Residents will travel on bicycle or foot. Things are expected to already kick off soon in 2023, with the 15.5-acre city costing around $627 million. Construction will take place on land and then be towed to the water afterwards. The floating city shares the same lead architect as Telosa, well-known Danish architect Bjarke Engels, who believes if this development is successful, similar platforms could be scaled and built in other notable places around the globe. For instance, the Maldives, Dubai, Monaco, Lagos, Rio de Janeiro, Miami, or New York. Floating cities are the best way to maximize land and reduce the effects of sea level rise caused by climate change. Research shows that rising sea levels threaten transportation infrastructures and coastal electricity. In the US, sea level rise is projected to be between 10 to 12 inches by 2050. A floating city allows you to adapt to the water since the homes are floating and not sinking. Busan, the second largest city in Korea, is home to 3.4 million residents and is a port city vulnerable to these conditions. As fantastic as these ideas sound on paper, there are some indications that they are too good to be true. Notice how none of these cities promise affordability. The lower and middle class may find entry into these mega eco-cities difficult. How do they sell the idea of these cities to be equitable for all when they are privately developed communities? The fact that billionaires and wealthy investors lead the charge in these plans may suggest that they will serve mainly the upper class. However, these futuristic cities will offer hundreds of modern jobs to skilled and unskilled workers. Multiple sectors like finance, health and safety, technology, marine conservation, innovation, corporate development, and operations would need qualified persons to apply. Other inside positions will be within the fields of risk management, energy, real estate, urban planning, and logistics. Experts predict that more people will be roped into these futuristic cities in a few years. They will be lured in by community attachment, accessible education systems, and more opportunities to actualize their dreams. The digital network in these cities will connect high-tech devices like AI-powered drones, sensors, cameras, and streetlights. This model will serve the next generation and beyond. The success of these 3 mega eco-cities could get the ball rolling for many more exciting and innovative developments in the not-so-distant future. Which of these cities would you move to if given the opportunity? Let us know in the comments below.